Welcome back to another video, everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about some long-lost, forgotten Crash games. These are games that you probably didn't even know existed, and neither did I until recently. Not this. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you know about Crash Bandicoot Nitro Kart 3D, some of the racing mobile games. This is like what we're going to start off with because it's on the surface, it's what most people know about, but later on we're going to be getting into some real obscure stuff. So the majority of these games are either mobile games that have been removed from the App Store and that's why they're unplayable now, or they're really old web browser games that have also been taken down. Let's start off with Crash Bandicoot Nitro Kart 3D. You can't download this anymore because it's been taken off the App Store, and you know what? I think that might be a good thing. This is what Ripperoo looked like in that game. I remember this because I had it. I had it on my old iPod Touch 4G, and I used to bring it to school. I still have the iPod Touch 4G. The problem is I wiped it, so I can't play it anymore. As the game is no longer available on the Apple App Store, Polar and Dingodile are no longer possible to obtain for new players. Wouldn't the game itself be no longer possible to obtain if it's not on the App Store? I would love to do videos on all of the games that we're going to talk about today. It's just that, again, they're impossible to get. They're lost games. For the most part, that is. Some people probably still have an old iPod laying around with this game on it and can play it. But yeah, so this was Crash Bandicoot Nitro Kart 3D. It came out in 2008. Now, there was a sequel to this game called Crash Bandicoot Nitro Kart 2. This came out 2 years later. Now, this isn't to be confused with Crash Nitro Kart 2. Crash Bandicoot Nitro Kart 2 and Crash Nitro Kart 2 are two different games. All this information, by the way, is coming from Bandipedia. Can't remember whether or not I had this one, but there's all the characters. Ripperoo looks better in this game. I'd love it if they made a new mobile Crash kart racing game. Crash on the Run is of course the first mobile game in ages, and that's a really good game. I do get a bit bored of it and don't go on it for a while, but I think they could do a good job at making a new kart racing game. So anyway, again, that came out 2 years later in 2010. Then we have Crash Nitro Kart 2, which came out not too long. Actually, this came out before Crash Nitro Kart 3D. So there's 3 kart racing games for mobile, 2 of which released, just months apart. Apparently for the plot, Nitrous Oxide just tries to turn planet Earth into a concrete parking lot again. Crash Bandicoot Nitro Kart 2 sprints onto App Store, May 27th, 2010. There's gameplay that you can find on all of these games, by the way. Pete the Player has some Nitro Kart 2 Crash Bandicoot Nitro Kart 2 footage up. Now, I know there's ways to, download the game and put them on your old phone, but they're very, complex, I believe, because you have to, revert your iOS version or just get a really old phone. Doing that alone is a lot just for this. If you know any way to download these and put them on your phone, the simplest methods, please let me know down below. Moving on to a Japanese exclusive here, Chokan Crash Bandicoot. It's a game that was released for a specific mobile phone series in 2007, and it's a sequel to Crash Boom Bang. Again, maybe it's not such a bad thing, these games have been lost forever. Oh wow, that's all the information that's about this game. There's a couple of screenshots here that you can see, but we've not got much to work with. If any Japanese people are watching this video, if you still have one of these phones, you might have the sequel to Crash Boom Bang. Would I advise you go look for this thing? Absolutely not. Moving on to Crash Twinsanity 3D. There's actually 2 Twinsanity mobile games, and I did not know they existed. Let's go over the brief description here. Crash Twinsanity 3D is a straightforward game where Crash runs and avoids obstacles. He can run in any direction and has classic moves such as jumping, the double jump, spinning, and the belly flop. And here's the gameplay. Oh, look at that. It looks like Crash on the Run. You got the 3 different lanes, the obstacles. But again, that's not the only Twinsanity mobile game. There's also Crash Twinsanity Mobile. They both came out in 2004, but the gameplay is slightly different. You know the level in the console version where you're running alongside Cortex helping him avoid the traps? Apparently this game was entirely that style of gameplay. Crash runs on one side, deactivating traps and pushing switches so that Cortex may pass through unharmed on the other side. Sometimes the opposite also happens, which means you'll have to wait for Cortex to push something, just like in the console version. As you can see, you're running alongside Cortex helping him avoid the traps, which I think is a pretty cool idea how they made a little mobile game out of this. Moving on to the more obscure stuff now, like Crash Bandicoot Party games. We don't even have a logo here. This came out on mobile in 2007. We even have images for this, which, to be honest, I did not expect. I feel like the more obscure we get, the less information we're gonna have. But yeah, it just looks like a very average party game. I wouldn't know because I've never played it. Oh, here's the trailer. Let's watch the trailer. Oh, it's literally just Crash Boom Bang on the phone. Oh, it explains it here. Party Games has a pretty self-explanatory title. It's heavily based on Crash Boom Bang, and even called that in-game for some reason. It's not called that outside of the game, but it is inside the game. It's Crash Boom Bang for mobile, that's what I'm getting out of this. Well, there's that, and then we've got Crash Nitro Mini Golf. This is the first game on the list that isn't a mobile game, it's a browser-based game. Crash Nitro Mini Golf was a browser-based golf game hosted on candystand.com. There was actually gameplay that was uploaded in 2007. This looks like something I will play at the back of science class on the computers when the teacher's not looking. I can't believe there's genuine footage of that. Well, I don't know how I'm going to be able to sleep at night now, knowing that I'm not going to be able to play Crash Nitro Mini Golf. Moving on to one of the last two games, and this is Crash Bandicoot Mutant Island. Clearly, like some sort of mobile version of Crash Mind Over Mutant. Oh, it takes place between Titans and Mind Over Mutant. Platform Blackberry. Man, just hearing the word Blackberry took me back. Everyone had those things back in secondary school. And then we've got Crash of the Titans Mobile, which I'm assuming has been taken off of the App Store a long time ago, just like everything else. That's Tiny Tiger in this, is it? Looks kind of similar to the Mutant Island thing that we just looked at. But yeah, that is all I've got on my list of stuff to show you for today. I'm sure some of you knew what, Nitro Kart 3D is and stuff like that. But how many of you knew what all of these were? Because I've never... I mean, if you've looked at the Bandipedia page already, then yeah, you're gonna know. But I didn't know half this stuff existed until today. If any of you know how I can get my hands on some of these games, please let me know. I'm sure there's some ways of downloading, the file for the game and putting it on an old phone. I don't have an old phone or anything. I've still got my old iPod though, so it might work on that if I can jailbreak it or whatever you have to do. But thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Definitely subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you all in my next video.